Hey guys, it's PFT here. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. BetterHelp is a customized online therapy, offers private video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist. Plus, it's way more affordable than in-person therapy. Head to betterhelp.com/barstool and you can get 10% off your first month of therapy.
All right, special episode brought to you by Trade Zero. Double Trade Zero ads because of double episodes. Penn fighting hard today. In honor of me moving to Miami, Trade Zero will be giving new users $305 worth of sign-up bonuses. Sign up with Trade Zero through tradezero.us/Dave. 5 months, pro trading package for free, $10 slice pizza gift card, $305 in value. The initial account minimum to $2,500. Don't just trade, Trade Zero.
Boom. Let's get into the bonus episode. All right, Dave. So, first and foremost, Penn stock is
up 3% today?
So that's a positive, or how are we looking at this? Because, well, it's hard to say, but because overall, still in a good spot.
Listen, I'm looking right now. It's up 3%, maybe because of me. Because I rallied it today as it just clicked up. People probably do. I own as much Penn stock as any human going, all right? I own a ton of it. I haven't sold it. You're going to get my A-plus effort. What would worry me about Penn stock would be if the rest of the gambling industry was doing great and we weren't. There's something like, oh, Penn's struggling, other people. It's not. The entire industry is getting brutalized. Fucking DraftKings is getting assassinated. I don't know what they are today. I'm looking right now on Trade Zero, and the score is the worst stock who ever lived. But DraftKings is down 3% today. So DraftKings has been down, I think, 6%, 6%, 7%. Weirdly, we usually travel in tandem. The last 4 or 5 days, half those days we've gone up, they've been down. Our business model works. The others may work, which is spend a ton of money to get handle and to grow, but you're losing millions every time you do your earnings. We're not that. We're doing it different. So I've never been happier, more confident with Penn. And if you listen to me from the beginning, it's up threefold from when it started more. So you should be happy, and I'm not panicking. The only time you ever got to worry about something is if you have to sell your stock like tomorrow. As long as you don't have to do that, you should be in good case. So, yeah, it sucks. It was at, 140, and it's at 83 right now or something?
Yep.
So when we did the deal, it was 26. I'm not even going to say it was a 4. It's still well over triple, and you just got to buckle up. The entire stock market is getting bludgeoned. It's not just Penn. And to be honest, dead serious, if I invested in a stock or a company, obviously want to go up. My number one thing would be, is the guy who I'm investing in, does he care as much as I do, if not more, when the stock price drops? The answer with Barstool Sports is unequivocally yes. Nobody cares more than me. Nobody has more invested than me. Nobody's going to fight harder than me. Is it automatically going to work? No, but that is a fact, that sentence I just said, and at least you can put your head on your pillow at night and know that I am as in as I've ever been.
But it's got to kind of kill you, though. Like, you like to be able to control things. Like, if something's gone bad, you'll go out and fix it. You can't really do much about it.
No, but, I think our performance will speak for itself.
Yeah, and it's also, it's annoying, too. People are like, oh, what the fuck? Because still over, what was it when you bought it, 22?
It's 26 when we did the deal. And people do that with anything. They do it with Bitcoin. Like, Bitcoin goes down, and I'll bust balls, but it's at 50,000. It's at 11,000 in August. So, yes. And if you listen to what I was doing on DDTG, I had not been beating the buy pen when it was 120 and 1.5. I wasn't doing that. If people ask me, dead serious, would you buy pen right now? I'd be, I don't know, it's awful high. It keeps going up, but it's fucking high. I was beating the drum at 20.6.
Did you see that Joe Pompliano tweet about DraftKings?
No.
I just sent it to you, Kareem, if you could pull it up. Or if, just go to his Twitter. It's about the DraftKings spend. It was pretty interesting. It is that one right there, 4 hours ago. DraftKings spent $500 million on sales and marketing in 2020, generating $615 million in revenue. They're currently on pace to spend $1 billion in sales and marketing and generating around $1.2 billion in revenue.
Yeah, and that doesn't include a lot of other stuff. That is the Barstool advantage. The day, and listen, this is my opinion of it. Somebody who's heavily involved in the industry, and you can take it for what you want if you're listening from a business perspective. When DraftKings revealed their earnings, their stock tanked and ours went up. That hadn't happened in a long time. And they had grown, and I think DraftKings would say, we did what we wanted to and we continue to do. They are playing a different game than us, almost a different sport. Spend, 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 and I believe what they think, and DraftKings may be right. They're smart. They know the market as well as anybody. They'll be last man standing on a grandiose scale, and then when I say last man, these big spenders. Them, FanDuel, to me, are the two that are spending. And if they can knock each other out and have the lion's share of the market, all this that they've been losing will come back quickly. There's some logic to that, and it could be true. Now, I think once spend goes down, because you don't have these people, we're ready to start spending so we can keep that pressure. But it is two different games. DraftKings, I'm sure, was happy with their earnings. They are not like surprised. They know how much they're spending. But you look at ours, we're about break even, make money, because we're not just spending. We have far less handle. We have decent revenue, numbers, market share, but we're just not spending. Mm-hmm. So it's what model do you think makes it out?
Do you run into that guy from DraftKings at all?
Jason Robbins?
Yeah.
Time to time. I've known him for forever.
So, I mean, the story goes you were offered equity into DraftKings.
Way back in the day. Mm-hmm. Way back in the day. That's not, that is true. So we've worked with these guys, and, he's brilliant.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I honestly
I don't always agree with, everything that he maybe has done, but you can't argue with where DraftKings is. He took that he started the company and has made it, a leader in this industry. That speaks for itself.
Yeah. I mean, and they're making money, so
they're not making money.
But they are a little bit.
No.
You don't think so?
No, they're not. They just they literally, their earnings came out, and they're just spending that, Eddie. That doesn't include anything else. If you're looking at these numbers, DraftKings spent $500 million in sales and marketing, estimating $615 million in revenue. That is ad spend. That's not payroll.
Yeah. Okay,
that's nothing else.
Yeah, it's not that. Yeah, that's the gross. Got you.
I mean, in their earnings, they said they I think lost $300 million or something, $200 million, a lot of money. But they know that. Like I'm saying, they're not, when they go spend $50 million for Le Batard or this for the NFL, they know that.
Yeah.
This is the game. They did it. It's not a dissimilar game that they did with Daily Fantasy.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll never understand that shit, like how Uber, apparently has never turned a profit or some bullshit.
Because in the investment world, and again, people can take this with a grain of salt, investors want big returns, right? So they're willing to invest and kick the can. And hey, if DraftKings, I'm not saying they say this, but if Company X says we'll be profitable in 2024, and people put so much money in, they can be, we may be 2027. You're better to keep spending and growing than spending and stop the growth, because then you're dead.
Mm-hmm. That guy's got a smart reply. Penn made a smarter play. They bought the company that does their advertising.
Clearly, I don't think... And actually, I think Jason Robbins wanted to buy Barstool. But he wasn't, no, I can just make this decision and do it. But we met with him. And they had a SPAC. And I think Jason got it more than the other people. I've said this. DraftKings passed on us. FanDuel passed on us. We named the price for Penn. And when it worked on the level it did, we redefined the market. Everyone's like, oh, fuck, this is the better model. But who's another Barstool? There isn't. Who else are you going to buy?
Well, in that same vein, did you see Outkick sold to Fox?
I did.
I didn't see any terms or details, though.
Well, yeah. I passed on that. Like, he was talking Erica.
Really?
Yeah. And I didn't pass because I don't like Clay. But
so Barstool was in talks to acquire Outkick
I think
the coverage.
And I don't mean this in a way that's going to come across as condescending, whatever. We've had our differences. I'm over it. But I believe he reached out doing his due diligence of like Outkick's on the sale. I don't think there's any value to Outkick, zero. I think Clay's and I've said this to him, I think Clay is valuable, but I don't like Outkick. Who cares? Like, I think that's like, now he packaged it together, and I think he made very good money. But we're in a very good money era, you know. And we're not in that game yet. We're not in the game of knowingly overpaying to corner the market.
Yeah. Did you sit on any of these calls with Clay?
No.
No.
And also, it's one of those things like if DraftKings or FanDuel didn't buy him, it's almost like Action Network, which got sold to some Denmark company. Mm-hmm. That means good for you. That means you found a sucker, almost in my mind. Because the way DraftKings and FanDuel spend, if they weren't the top offer, then you swindled somebody else.
But Fox seems like a different kind of thing, though, right?
What do you mean?
They want him to be...
But he was already doing that. He was already a Fox personality.
I know. It's so weird how their company's broken down, and I don't think maybe that's what we don't know.
And you mean because Clay has, it drives me nuts when this, but he is that conservative voice, so that's not alienation at Fox. That fits in sort of with what they do. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's not DraftKings, FanDuel, what they didn't want. I don't know the final price. I know, and I don't know that he would have sold for us. I know what price was mentioned to me, and I was like, no way. And there's certain prices, too, where, like, let's just say, this isn't the number, but Clay Travis and Outkick think they're worth $10 million. What does that mean Dan's worth? $100 million himself? Like, that's how much more valuable and influential I think Dan is. So there's always that element, too, of, like, screwing up.
Which is interesting, too, because he's always played that kind of thing where it's, Barstool is you and Dan. Like, you guys have had arguments about that before.
I've heard, he said at different times when he was against me, it was like, there was a phase when everyone thought Barstool is like PMT, but those are just idiots. And I know that's not disrespect to PMT, but those are people who just don't know the breadth of what we do.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think people would be, and you're right, he was probably just doing his due diligence to put it out there and see what.
I think, if we gave him his price, he would gladly come here. I just put absolutely zero value on Outkick. I think he, as a personality, has influence and could be useful for the gambling side, but he always is packaging. It's almost like, I don't
even know how that would fit. Like
if you buy something and you have to buy like 10 other things that you don't want. That's like, I just have no interest in Outkick.
How about the Joe Kernan? He said he's envious of you, CNBC.
Because I got that. He was basically just saying, because I can say whatever I want and don't get in trouble for it.
Yeah.
It's just because I'm honest. It's like, if you don't hide anything, then it's hard, it's hard to be canceled, I guess.
Yeah. It was, who did that with Jay, right? That was like last week or something?
Well, I'm curious on this is honest, and you could go anywhere. If you put Clay for gambling in our crowd of if you were like the CEO or business guy of it, what multiple would you put Dan versus Clay?
That's a good question. I think you're right. I mean, Dan is definitely
like if I'm doing like promos and I'm like both of them, hey, full weight, you need people to sign up. Everything's equal footing. I expect a minimum 10x return from Dan. That's just my guess.
Well, Dan has like diehards that love Dan Katz. You know what I mean? People love Big Cat. Like they love the guy, they love the story, they love everything he's done. Like Clay, and it's no disrespect to him. I think he does. He's got a following. People like what he's doing, but it's more so like the message that they follow with. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think he's morphed away from a little bit of like Dan still is truly, I like first and foremost, like a sports guy too, which is very important for us. I don't view Clay necessarily that way anyways. And I'm saying like nationwide, I would expect minimum 10x return from Dan. What I've said, you want to go back to the Penn thing, I truly believe he and I, 1-2, 2-1, however you want to look at it, are like the two most influential sports gambling personalities.
Yeah, and it just, there's something about the way you guys did it too. You know,
well, it's so organic.
Yeah,
it wasn't like a sudden shift. It wasn't.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. I know he did his whole thing with Furman, like when they were coming up, and I know they're on the show now, and they did have their own thing. But you guys were just out there more. You guys were just living and breathing Twitter. But
even that shtick he did with Furman was if you look at how Dan and I did it, it's been the same. It never changed. This is what actually, again, I want to dig it up, made me like not like Clay. The Clay Travis I met with Furman at the Super Bowl was a far different person than like who he ended up being, and it felt disingenuous to me. And like people who know me who knows that's like what drives me crazy. He hasn't really been that way in person, but like the way he talked about gambling, all of a sudden like I started doing my Mortal Lock shit, and then he's Blood Bank. It didn't feel totally authentic.
But then at the same token, can't you see it from his angle? He found a lane
100%
that would be most valuable for him. Whereas
100%.
You say like I'll do this, this, and this to grow the brand. He found his lane to grow his brand.
100%. I felt like he ripped his brand became my brand.
Okay.
And I don't mean that like conservative shit. I mean like emergency press conferences.
Yeah.
Like he literally was doing in emergency press conferences. It's like, dude, what are you doing? He's I'll stop. Like, so that's where it got, and then it just kind of escalated a little bit.
But that's one of those things where
he made it. He made a shit ton of money, so good for him.
Oh yeah. I mean, you guys had your debate about who would be worth more. So
that debate's.
But it's hard not to.
I don't know if he would admit that yet.
We should see. Should we have him on?
I don't think he'd ever admit that. Yeah, might as well. He sold it. See what he says.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Yeah, let's do that then. But no, I mean clearly Dan. Like for me, yeah, way 10x, 100x, whatever. Dan's
and we're inside where it obviously works here, but I would bet on that. I'd be like, no, I think Dan has 10x the results.
Yeah, I would agree.
Which also speaks to the fact that Barstool Sports and our sale price to Penn was the most, in hindsight, undervalued. I think if we sold again, you're probably close to $2 billion.
It'll be a lot different for sure.
I honestly believe that.
Yeah. And sorry, one more thing on Clay. And I don't know how much he followed you, and I don't know if he was like a genuine fan or something like that too, because you get this a lot where people, become a fan of Barstool, and then you get in the content game. And people just have watched you so much where their humor, it's like, well, he's just trying to act like Dave.
Oh, I think he was a fan.
You've heard that before.
I think he was a fan. I think, like, we had no problems. It was literally like he started using phrases that were, like, core to what I was doing.
Yeah, the blood bank.
I felt like he was trying to beat me to the South by becoming me, if that made any sense.
It does. It does make sense. I mean, big thing this week, too, it's the Miami website just completely thrown into the wolves, address, how much you paid.
They said the name of the trust is named after my dead dog, in the article.
Yeah.
I didn't
even know you had that. Is that like...
Yeah, that is done purposely so you don't have to put the house in your name so nobody finds out where you live. I don't know how that got out. No idea.
Miami's public record or something I was reading.
Yeah, but I'm not listed. It's listed as Stella Bean LLC.
Yeah.
That was the whole point. I went through all this fucking crap to do that, and then that secret was kept for 2 seconds.
Are you pissed about it?
Yeah, I was. I was very pissed because it's like, now I wanted privacy.
It's kind of fucking scary, to be honest with you. Because I don't know, I was looking up that, not to get too fucking dark here, but who's that rapper? Pop Smoke or something? You know his story?
Sounds like we're getting pretty fucking dark. I know he's dead.
Yeah, well, he posted on Instagram a picture of a package, and then people came and knew where he lived, and they jumped him. It's fucking, I don't know. I was like, that's pretty serious to have all your shit released like that.
No, it's super dark.
Yes, I'm sorry, but I'm scared. I'm nervous for you. Yeah. No, I know. But I don't know why. I had just read that story.
I didn't want the address out. I don't know who leaked it. People have said it's the seller's real estate. It was tagged in like an Instagram post, but like she's a well-known real estate agent in Miami, and no one would ever work with you if you were going to leak addresses like that.
Does this make you think about like I don't know, like are you gonna have like a gate or something up? Like
there is a gate, which is nice. This gated community. The number one thing I keep going back and forth, and I really don't want to do it, is like security. But it seems crazy. But you probably don't need it till you need it.
100%. But you don't even want bouncers though. You don't want people walking around with you.
No, but if you could find like a discreet one,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know. No, it sucks that it was, and everyone's in my ass being like, you bought at the top, you got ripped off, and I know. Listen,
People are saying he got burned.
I know I bought at the top and paid too much for the house. I looked at a ton of places in Miami. I like this one the most. It needs work. That I wanted not my neighbors on top of me. I didn't want to be on South Beach. You have 1 second to think in the market in Miami. Like you look at a house, if you like it and you don't answer in fucking a day, it's gone. This woman didn't want to sell me the house. They're like, fine, that's how hot the market is. I did this for taxes. I won't lose money on the houses because of taxes. So it is what it is. Nothing you want to hear more than you just fucking spent a shit ton of money and you got fucking ripped off.
Well, you saved on the Rolex to buy this.
Correct.
He pulled back on that. Canelo fight. You took some, not some shots at MMA, but
well, no, not MMA. The entrance was so good. I love boxing entrances.
Yeah.
I love Mexican fighters. I watched the fight. I enjoyed it. I think MMA should do a better job with the main event entrances. Robbie Fox said Dana White specifically does not like the theatrics of entrances.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I do disagree with you. I do think there's MMA is right there with now entrances way more theatric,
The feel.
Yeah, what Wilder.
The electricity walking into the ring. MMA does not compare to boxing.
No. I agree with that.
So that's what I said.
Oh, I thought you meant as a whole, like the vibe, the whole big fight vibe.
That's what I mean. The 10 to 20 the 10 to 20 minutes leading up to a, let's say it's equal stature boxing MMA, the 20 minutes leading up to that fight, boxing is far superior.
Okay. I guess I misinterpreted what you said then. But
I was doing it in the middle of the mariachi band, that's what I meant.
Okay. Large Robbie did a great job, Devlin. It was entertaining. Nantucket fight. I had a hard time following along about that whole thing. Gaslight. There was a girl who was an old cover girl. There was a lot going on.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much dead now. So basically, it came to my attention. The whole fiasco was brought about by an owner of a bar, or part owner of a bar, called Gaslight, who organized basically the protest that forced N Magazine to issue the retraction. Then they tried to issue a retraction on the retraction. And it's just, it's the same story as always. Like this fight, I actually tried to ignore because Renee is in Nantucket. I don't want to make it weird for her. But it's like, if you call me a racist, sexist, homophobe, anti-Semitic, and create a big stir, I still didn't say anything. It was Nantucket. It became a story without me. It's on Boston.com. New York Post is adding me. So I started talking. I found out where this all started. And I feel like it's fair game for me to be like, hey, if you like me or respect Barstool, just know this place in particular, they fucking hate me. So you're supporting somebody who hates me and hates Barstool.
Did you go to this place before?
Oh, yeah. It's a cool spot. One of my, a bunch of my friends work there. One of my good friends is the manager. So, yeah.
Did you talk to him?
Yeah. He's like, I can't believe it. He's like, it's crazy. They just don't know you, and it's like, I have no idea why she felt compelled to make a stink. And then people are taking shots at me on Twitter that you're referring one of the girls who had said something negative and were pro rape culture and all this. This girl turns out had been a cover of Barstool back in the day and had 3 things that she had retweeted of mine recently. So it's just keep your mouth shut. This isn't, you're just mad because your friend went nuts and I called her out. I did what I said I would do in the article. It's like, if you attack me from the clouds unprovoked, it's not my job to protect you if I, defend myself. And that's what I did.
That's a tough spot for that guy.
You know what? It's a weird thing. There's people clearly in Nantucket who don't like me, and they don't know fucking nothing about me, and they can live in their little sheltered lives and not do an ounce of research. Most of the people there like me, and I think most of the people at this bar and restaurant like me. It just is this. I think this lady just kind of went rogue.
So was it the one who was on the old cover girl, or was it a different one?
No, it was a different one.
A different one?
Yeah.
Did any word from Renee about the whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Renee's ride or die.
Yeah.
She's like, I got my dogs and my friends. I need to go to that fucking place, guess. Like, fuck them. Like, Renee wouldn't want to, even if it didn't become an issue, and Renee found out they said that shit about me, she wouldn't go there. And she had been going, but, like, we're very similar in that regard. Like, if you're not with us, you're against us.
Stick to the chicken box?
Yeah, exactly.
There we go.
Yeah.
You tweeted that you love Kenny Mayne. He just got released from ESPN.
I do love Kenny Mayne. I reached out. I told him if he's looking, we're here. He was like, all right, I'll let you know.
Nice.
Not like he'll come, but he's like, I appreciate that. And if he's seriously looking for a media outlet, I'd love to be in that discussion.
On that note, is there any more word on Paul Pierce?
No, I haven't heard much from that. That seems very unlikely at this point.
Okay. But Kenny Mayne, if there's something he could do, you'd be interested in that?
I think he's very talented, very funny, loves gambling. So, yes.
You tweeted that we're going to have a party for the Indy 500.
Yeah. Big party.
So is this going to be in correspondence with Indiana?
Yes. So it's the Friday night before the Indianapolis 500.
Okay.
It's, I think, about 30 minutes away from where they do the race because that county is very difficult on COVID. And this other one, no masks, is much more open now. So Diplo, Machine Gun Kelly, open bar.
Open bar.
Open bar. If you're in, it's free drinks.
That's like... We talk about 120 miles per hour, no speed limit. That's going to be that.
Yeah. I believe, and there'll be more details, their girls will, for the most part, get free tickets. That's always how we do it. Guys, if you place like, I think we're going to be about a $250 bet on the Barstool Sports app in Indianapolis, that will be your ticket.
Great.
And then we have tables. Like for 10, the prime seats, those may be like $10,000 tables that you place a $10,000 bet, you get a table.
What's the capacity, do you know?
About 5,000.
5,000. Man, it's going to be wild to see. And obviously, I know your relationship with Diplo. How did Machine Gun Kelly come about?
We got a list of people that, were available, and we kind of had our pick, and he's hot in the streets. So that's how we got him.
Megan Fox might be there.
Yeah. Let's keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah, right. All right, so keep your eye out for that. I'm sure there are going to be more details as the weeks unfold, but that'll be fun.
Yeah, soon, 28th. It's like a couple weeks away.
For sure. All right, Inside Barstool, the ZD controversy. Our episode aired.
Jeff D-Lowe.
Should we grab Jeff D-Lowe?
Got caught with his pants down, sucking his own dick, reading the headlines of how great Jeff D-Lowe was. And meanwhile, he's not dotting the I's and crossing the T's and doing the things that got this tournament in the first place. And he fucked us, Eddie. And he's announced it. I'm fine with the resolution, so it's good. We play the winner for the belt. Yep. That's how it should be. There really is no other way to do it that wouldn't invalidate the entire tournament because, Eddie, that was the turning point of that match.
It was a big point. It was a big point, for sure.
So, yeah, I mean... You can't have wrong. I gave a correct answer.
Should we grab him? Do you want to talk to him?
I mean, if you want, I know what. I'm okay with the solution. If you feel like he needs. You seemed like wishy-washy when I was hey, we're in the finals. You're like, I don't know if it's his fault. I mean, give the guy a break. It's like, what do you mean give a break? How many times in the history of Jeopardy has Alex Trebek, been wrong when you're right?
I'm very down for the solution. I just didn't know.
Oh, it's the only solution, or else the entire thing would be invalidated. You think this tournament would have stood without was Team ZD not being fairly eliminated?
I'm sure people would have had their problems.
Oh, the whole thing invalidated.
So it's
I want to play devil's advocate here, but if you guys beat the eventual champions, is there an asterisk?
No.
And the whole thing?
Why?
We didn't go through other teams.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
just the way the cookie crumbled. There's no asterisks. We beat the best team.
Champions already agreed to it, so no asterisks.
Well, I don't even understand what that means. Like they had a choice? They don't have a choice.
Like they're not. They won't put up a fight.
Well, what if they did? Then what would happen?
They wouldn't because it's a league, and you know what? If you guys win it, someone may eventually challenge you. Just,
Well, I mean, if they refused to play, you would have to strip them of the title and give it to us.
yeah, they would have played anyway.
Yeah, they had no choice.
But I like that they are champions. Should be even
Well,
if
they would have never been champion.
I like that confidence from you guys.
Well, no, I mean, it's not even that. It's you can't recognize them as the champion if one team never lost.
Yeah, I mean,
as you said in our discussion, Jeff D. you stripped that loss from our record. It's not
correct.
there.
Only one team right now, and I've gone back. This, of course, something may come up. Who knows? Of course, my one fuck up was in the first match. But you guys,
how did you come to realize? When was your first alert that you screwed us?
I'm actually pretty shocked that I didn't catch it either right away or in the editing process. Somebody tagged Clem, and I was like, motherfucker. I was all commissioner aside, and I know you're making the jokes earlier about you're reading the clippings.
Yeah.
That was a low moment for about 5 minutes last night. I was pretty fucking disheveled last night. I was bummed.
I mean that's your team, right? UConn?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said it.
Amita Brima is the reason it was their toughest game in 2014.
Yeah.
St. Joe's. Yeah. Had a big and one.
What about Kirk? The whole Kirk thing.
What about?
Well, he was just he made that. Well, first it was actually Marty. Were you upset with Marty made that comment?
No, I don't. I'm that's.
Well, I don't even know what we're talking about.
So Marty would basically said well, we got to slow down. We're acting like it was the Oscars.
Yeah, they got
or
me
something.
a sparkler and drinks. They went out for Cinco de Mayo.
Right.
Which
yeah.
and I did look. Kirk joked in the show. Kirk and I are I think as much I could be friends with Kirk as possible.
Right. Nobody's friends.
He
with
respects your work.
No,
though,
he does.
He
And
comes on
I
the
respect
show.
Kirk. Him and I have no beef whatsoever.
Yeah, I saw this. I love Jeff. I mean,
I looked super. I
mean, it was a little early for the sparklers when we can't even get through round one without a major problem, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, it was a little congratulatory, a little self.
I didn't ask for that, though.
You're sucking your own dick a little bit much, and meanwhile, Argman Brogdon is on it. He's probably fucking running a fast break right now on national TV, and you're doing that, and that's how mistakes happen. You take your eye off the ball for 1 second in this league, and mistakes happen.
I actually told Eddie yesterday in passing, hours before it aired, I said, because you made a comment on this show about me, and then I think, Dave, you replied, you're like, well, let me know when Jeff D-Lo gets poo. What was it? What was the comment? You're talking about poo. Who was it? Who's the rapper or somebody that $1 Million for the Game guy? You're like, well, when Jeff D-Lo gets that guy.
Yeah. Well, I was saying.
There was just a little too much praise for me. I haven't done anything here.
No,
I told
no,
Eddie
no.
yesterday, I'm like, hey, let's cool it on the...
No.
Yeah.
Jeff, give yourself more credit than that.
Well, Eddie, I don't sometimes
the-
know whether you're on ZD's team or Jeff's team. He's the commish. He
You
fucked
know what?
us.
I mean, Jeff and I have a bond with these snake drafts and this.
Yeah, but I mean, he tried to run us out of this tournament.
I know.
Maybe if you gave
I was
the
very
answer,
quick to-
Maybe if you gave the answer, you'd feel differently.
Maybe, perhaps. However,
I mean, you saw the footage. I'm like, UConn. You're like, oh, how'd you guess UConn? I'm like, UConn. I mean, I second guessed myself, and that should never happen. But I'm like, I can't believe I got that wrong. UConn. And meanwhile, I was right the whole time. There's nothing worse that a human can do to a human than make another human second guess himself when he was right the whole time. But I gave Jeff D-Lo, based on all the accolades I've been hearing, he's the trivia guy.
See, this is I told you yesterday. I said, no, we got it cool. I said, the show, I'm happy the show is doing well. I needs to do much better. Happy it's doing well. I didn't like the sparklers. I appreciate the friends. I'm glad. It was a cool moment last week.
In hindsight, you know what it reminds me of? The Sixers when they did the confetti on
at
the court.
the end against the Celtics.
Yeah, but they lost.
Yeah. Good. We recovered quick last night.
But so it came from that, and then Kirk kind of had the same take as Marty, and then he was like, "I'm just kidding." Whatever. And then you were like, Kirk is bowing to
I didn't love the
Jeff?
comment
Yeah.
about all I do is read trivia. That's where I will go to
All
my
you
own
do is
defense.
what?
All I do is read trivia. There's still work that goes into this shit.
Oh, yeah.
That was the only thing. That's where I had to come to my own defense. All right.
He was saying
Kirk?
Did he say
I think
that?
Steve made the comment.
Oh, I don't know who said it.
I don't know. I just know when I give UConn as an answer.
Yeah, no, I blew it.
And it's correct.
I said, did you see the Calhoun video?
I've explained it 1,000 times. I fucked up.
I didn't say you.
I should have taken UConn as
just
the
said
answer.
It wasn't an exact science.
Christ almighty. It took 18 days to write these questions. It's been written about. It's been tweeted about. It's been talked about. Don't shake your fucking head. You ask a question, I'm telling you how I feel. I wrote 24 out of 25 good questions. They're not bad. They're not bad.
So what are you going to do about the Z decision?
I'm going to put ZD through all the way to the end. They're still alive. They still got a shot at the title. They're going to get a fair shake. It's been pre-recorded, so we can't redo the whole tournament. They'll take on the winners in an extra championship match. Does that work?
Thought I did a nice job with that.
Have you seen that?
Though you actually,
Well, he tweeted it first.
your account put out the I fucked up last night.
Is that the video we're talking about?
He made a new one.
Who?
I just straight up did the Calhoun, said I fucked up.
I did that one.
You
did
and I
your
did
own.
it,
Yes, correct.
Got it.
Correct.
Got it.
Look, we've moved on. You guys, you have to pay attention now to who you could potentially play.
Can we
Correct.
acknowledge, and I don't know if you like the whole bringing back the clip from after the Duncan Awards, but I feel like since we're sitting here, that kind of has to be brought up. Like, this is a long way for both of you.
Well, every
right?
time we're in a game environment, Jeff D. Lowe is pulling shenanigans.
It definitely was disrespectful.
Yeah.
It was a bad judgment call on my part. It was a very bad judgment call.
Like, what did you think we were doing last night?
There
What do you
was-
think the red carpet was? What do you think was happening?
Oh no, I fucked up. Like, I mean, yeah, like there was
Especially as
discussion.
like a movie guy.
Yeah, that's what you said. You said people were like, he doesn't know your name. I know you do because you looked to me and said, Jeff D, have you ever seen a fucking award show before?
Right.
Yeah. There was discussion about dressing up or not. I made a really bad judgment call. I'm like, oh, maybe people aren't. And came in, saw some people weren't. And like, okay, so 2 bad judgment calls.
Like, that's what it is. Like, you guys are close to just being done here because you guys cost it. You don't make any money. In fact, you lose well over 6 figures. From what I've heard, six.
Okay.
We'll show you the budget.
That's fine.
From what I've heard,
We got a lot of work. I understand that.
you guys are requesting more help, saying you don't have enough time, like edit videos and interns and things like that.
Did want someone just to help a little bit with editing some videos. 'Cause
We have footage of
do
you
everything.
last week or your team, like just watching soccer nonstop.
I don't think those can be compared. I
One
did
day-
make the comment when you tweeted that out Friday. I saw Tommy. I was like, I don't like that he tweeted that because now the clock resets. The clock resets for a new. It lasted 3 fucking days.
That was a big mistake. I mean, I'm happy with the solution. I think you handled it well. We do deserve to. It's the only way. I mean, there was really no other.
I mean, if we were like taping these day by day, I would have just had you replay the match. But
Correct.
It's over.
Right. Yeah. I actually, in the future, and I'm sure there's advertising reasons, I think that was a big miss, not doing it live.
It just came down to we got as many people here, and we still had issues getting as many people.
Yeah, but
here
you
as
can
possible.
always zoom them in if need be. I just think that because things like this,
Yeah.
in real time, you don't know what's going to come up. Like, we don't know how many answers you've marked wrong that are right.
Yeah.
What's your deal? Are you in? Like, are you going to stick around?
You did make a comment in passing I was confused about. You mentioned Carl said, "Are you in the title now?" And you said, "No, it's done." But you're going to play the eventual champions.
So
right?
you're with ZD.
No,
though, like,
Carl asked if we needed, like, I feel like something settled. I meant it's
okay.
done.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't know. So it's like a
I
thing.
feel like I'm the only one who has. I haven't heard from Clem. You almost seemed like Eddie.
He just asked you if you're still in.
Well, you
Like,
also called me.
The door's open for
Eddie
Rico.
seemed like he just wanted to let this one like slide by and be like, all right, we got to eliminate it, even though we got to like question fucking wrong that was right. It was a turning point in the match.
I don't think Rico will ever return to ZD. I think Rico's like
No, Rico, Eddie. Of course, I'm now the captain of ZD. Basically, I'm the only one who fucking. Let me put it this way: without me on ZD, we're not in the championship.
Correct. You're right.
You
You're
guys
right
would
about
roll
that. You're
over
right.
and let yourself get fucked.
Also, fucking ridiculous that you called me the mush.
Why? Did you see the clip?
Yeah, I saw the clip, and you were the one that had the band on the fucking field in the third quarter.
Eddie.
We're killing them.
Eddie.
We're killing them.
Eddie. Positive vibes.
Yeah, positive vibes is like, great job.
Okay, I'm the mush. Why did you say that you guys always blow leads?
Because I've fucking been there before. You know what I mean?
How many games have I played?
If that was your second one.
Correct. So if you guys are always blowing leads, and I haven't been there very much, whose problem is it?
Well, we blew the lead in your first game, too.
Because you're negative vibes. I try to change it around, be positive. Hey, we're killing them. We're just step on their throats. Oh, we always blow it. Sad trombone, and then bang.
All right, we gotta pick that up, I guess.
It's a confidence thing for you.
Yes,
Like just you. Yeah.
He mushed the whole fucking thing.
Well, I you know how it is. If this was reverse, if this was a gambling thing, like that's
Yeah, but you have a long history. How many games did you play?
we played like 12,
And
That
what,
was
you
your
blow
13th.
leads in like all of them?
just about.
So it's
Just
you
about.
and Clem that miserable attitude.
Well, we also had Rico too.
3 losers.
All right. Well, thanks, Jeff.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
I look forward to the championship.
Can't wait.
Do we know when we're doing it?
We'll figure that
And
out.
what is this like niche category? Why did Tommy get to pick what he like? That's not even trivia. I stand by
that's being
that.
changed for
I
after.
stand by that forever. There's trivia. You need to have an endless supply of like questions. Like if something's like The Office, you can have a gazillion. You could stump even the best Office person. He just memorizes a map. That's not trivia.
Tommy's not the reason we're going to change it, but it is going to be changed for next season a little bit. It's going to be tweaked a bit. So you
People
don't think
are-
the KB Capitals thing, like KB knows all the world capitals.
Right. That should not be allowed because that's just a finite amount of information that you can memorize. Is a spelling bee trivia?
No, that we've done
Exactly.
that before. Should have called ourselves a game show from the start. That was my biggest regret with this show.
It's a game show.
Thank you. Yeah, champion. Well, we'll figure. I
A
don't know.
trivia, like memorization, the lowest form of human intelligence, I may add, that and spelling, that's not trivia.
Tommy, the moment you were impressed with Tommy for like 6 seconds. That was a big moment for him, though.
Yeah, and then it got like awkward. I'm like, wait a minute, he just memorized like the African map? That's nothing. If I could have done that, if you told me I'm going to do capitals or whatever, I just sit and memorize. Lowest form of human intelligence. That and spelling.
Yep.
What about matching?
What?
Matching, like a match game.
Memory?
Yeah.
No, memory's no.
Okay.
Spelling and memorization.
I don't know why.
We'll figure out the championship. I don't want to talk. I don't want to like say spoilers, but we'll do it. I mean, I think when the championship match ends on the YouTube stream,
Well, this is-
rolls
I
into the
just-
second
And
one.
don't even call it. It's not even a championship. It's the left side of the bracket now. We're on the right, waiting. They're
Yeah.
on the left.
And this is going to be in like June, July.
No, this is going to be this. Ideally, if we can figure out a time, which we have 2 weeks, it's gonna be. I want this when that match is over. I want that YouTube stream to keep going, and it goes right into the
Yeah,
next
I
one.
think
Give the
that's
people
right.
what they want.
Okay,
I think that's right.
Oh, well,
made
all
a
right.
right
When the left side of the
right
bracket's
decision.
done.
You're in though. You're not going to be fucking.
What does this mean?
Well, I don't know. You're not going to be.
This
Well, I
is-
just
this
don't.
have
I know
nothing
how
to
this
do
guy
with.
get. He's going to be fucking worrying about eyeball emojis on fucking Instagram comments.
Oh, Eddie.
Oh, I'm letting you. Also, 2 of you hash that out.
I was just making sure we got a guy with a clear head.
Eddie.
You were talking about making
Yeah, that could be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it going to be? Maybe we could do it live from that indie something like the day before or whatever. That'd be fun. Couple more things. In the same vein, Barstool Games, Jake Marsh, Hank.
Holy moly. One of the funniest, most intimidating, scariest videos I've seen in my time at Barstool.
I'm the best in the office! I am the best one here! Fights back! What a great match!
Best in the office. He's a great competitor. This is my day. I wasn't letting the Nets steal that.
21-18.
Just because he's so quiet. And I just never heard him say anything. And the way he pushed Hank around the ring and bodied him and just made Hank such a mouse. Domination. Like, it's so serious. I haven't been like, hey, did like you get Rhea's phone number yet? Because it's that close to home.
And I feel like you generally don't know how to like. You look at Jake Marsh, like a forbidden rock. Like you
I
don't
just
know.
don't know. Yeah, he's just like, he's a savage. I'm glad I haven't like antagonized him. He'd fucking kill me.
Yeah, like the March Madness, even that, when he was on the streams, like you would, like, stuff would be going good, stuff would be going bad. Then you turn around and you look at him and you'd be like...
You know how I look at him now? Like when they put the angry eyebrows on Uncle Leo in Seinfeld.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I'm not a Seinfeld guy, but...
Does anyone else Seinfeld guy? Like the doctor, like Uncle Leo has like eyebrows that just make him look mad. I'm always like, oh, Jake, don't hit me. Don't punch me, dude. Like, pick on Hank.
And then...
Yeah.
In that same vein, you're playing Thursday in Bags, I believe. So download the Play Barstool app. Per Hank. Playbarstool.com or whatever.
Yep.
You'll be there. Number 4 on the podcast charts. You tweeted that.
Yep.
That like graphic.
That was like a pen ad.
Was it?
Yeah, because it's like, again, look how high we are, and it costs a shit ton of money to advertise on a network like that, and Penn gets to do it for free. It's Barstool Sportsbook.
Rowan launches Neighborhood Eats.
Yep. There was in Miami. He called me to like do a Cubano sandwich there.
And you said no?
Correct.
Why'd you say no?
I didn't feel like it. I do enough eating.
That would have been a nice cameo, though. You're the Miami.
I think they did do a cameo.
I think they had KB and Donnie. And
someone called me on the phone.
Yeah, so that's a good. I mean, it's so fucking well produced and well shot.
Cameo was for Rediscovering
Okay.
America.
There you go. Rediscovering America, which is coming out, or if it's not out now. I don't know if you saw Francis opened up a little bit more about getting fired on his podcast.
No, I heard whispers. Maybe someone sent me like the Reddit link, I think.
Yeah.
I looked at it a little bit, to be honest, but judging, I didn't think it was anything revolutionary. Maybe it was. I didn't listen to it.
No, I thought he was pretty, and he was asked about it too. I didn't see it as being like, oh, this is my chance.
I've talked to him. He doesn't have any animosity. At least I haven't noticed it, and I don't think he has any. I think we're both fairly straightforward with how that went down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was an idiot for writing that. If it was somebody who had longer tenure or I viewed really was like committed to the brand, I would have fought a lot harder. But to take shrapnel, which we would have for that, just wasn't worth it.
And I guess his rebuttal was, you wrote a blog maybe the year prior or earlier that year where you said, hey, these 4 guys, I got their back if they make a joke, but anyone else. And he saw that as, hey, okay, you only have their back, and this is kind of me to kind of do what I need to do for myself since you don't have my back. And I might be paraphrasing. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but essentially that's what I got from it.
I don't know what blog he was talking about. If I did write that, my rebuttal to that would be like, you earn your respect. Like, he never made an effort to, not in a bad way, because in a lot of ways that's how Barstool moves. It's, anytime something becomes bigger, but like, he never did. So you don't show up day one and but if you earn that during the course of you being here, then certainly I would. I mean, as I said in the past, like, he was somebody who didn't want ads in his stuff. Like, I'd have to go to bat for him with sales constantly. It was probably a combo. Even when he did it, it's like he didn't dress up for the Duncan Awards. I don't really begrudge it. And I think he admitted it. He was out to build his career. And I don't think he'd ever, when he wrote a blog like that, it's like, oh, this could like land Barstool in hot water. And he's like, the risk was always going to be worth it for him to advance himself. I don't know.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not saying that negatively. Mm-hmm. He's entitled. But then when something like this happens, clearly he didn't know that the girl was dead. That didn't really matter because people don't like us, and you put a ball in tee and it sucked because he's super talented.
Yeah. I'm trying to think besides that, I mean, I don't know. He didn't know the line, something like that.
That's a pretty obvious line. Don't write a blog making fun of a girl who's brutally murdered. Did he know it? No, but that's a line nobody can touch.
He also said he got approached by this. This insider piece is. Do you know any more information on it?
I'm nervous about this.
It sounds like it's going to be bad.
The Business Insider piece, and I'm going to tell you why I'm nervous about it. Because I know they've dug into my past with, like, girls that I know. And I know for a fact there's one girl who is bananas from my past. When I say bananas, she was sending DMs, 2 girls, being like, hey, have you ever talked to Dave? Do you know anything creepy about Dave? Do you have any examples from a fake account, right? The girl who was sending these was the first girl who told me this was happening. She's like, hey, just as a heads up, I got this DM. Somebody's trying to dig up dirt on you and post, like, negative shit. And I was like, thanks for telling me. She's like, yeah, like, we may not see eye to eye, but, like, this is so over the line, and I had to tell you. It was that girl who was doing it.
Ooh.
She's to the point I had to send something to her mother, and she's fucking harassing Silvana, to be like, hey, your daughter's gone, like, bananas, just as a no. And I used to talk to her, so she has shit that, if used properly, would make me seem like a fucking weirdo. But it's like Fatal Attraction, not joking. So that and that girl alone worries me about the Business Insider, because if the Business Insider reporter spoke with this person, she would try to crucify me with all lies. I have documented proof, but who fucking knows? That's the only thing, because I'm not, despite what people want to say, I'm not creepy at all. So it's like, I don't care. And a million girls reached out to me being like, what is this DM we just got? They're like, who the fuck is this person? The psycho.
So are you prepared to kind of...
I don't know. I don't know what to expect from this Business Insider. She's talked to everybody in the world.
Everybody.
Talk to fucking Hammy.
How did she say that? Or did you not get into it with Hammy?
She hit me up out of the blue. She's like, hey, like a report. She's like, I was complimentary. When Hammy's complimentary of me, like, you're not going to find too many. I know they reach out to Bubbly Gang. He was like complimentary. There's just, or he maybe not even spoke. Most people who know me are going to be like, yeah, he's unfortunately not what you're trying to find out. Yeah. Except for the Fatal Attraction person. That worries me.
Sounds kind of scary.
If you know you have somebody willing to go to those lengths to, like... So
she was saying, hey, she gave you the heads up, but in turn, she was the one doing this?
Yes.
So this girl's like really playing double agent.
Yes. Kareem was the one who connected the dots. He's like, it's the same fucking... He's like, do you know who this person is? I'm like, yeah. And it was the same person, the fake account. And then when I confronted... acted like it wasn't a big deal. She's like, haha, that's funny, huh? I'm like, what are you talking about? I was so taken aback that I'm just like I was trying to like just be nice. Be like, yeah, huh, funny. Like, please don't do that. But then continued.
Jesus.
Yeah.
This doesn't sound good.
No, that's what worries me. That and that alone. Even I went all the way back to like when Sophia, and I hate saying, but it was like posting messages like, was this the girl saying stuff from all different accounts? Like, who knows? At this point, I think she's capable of anything.
All right. We'll see.
But yeah, I don't know. There's this girl's digging. Like, she's making it sound like this is a biography on George Washington.
Do you want to talk to the girl?
Fuck no. No? I haven't been scared of it. I'm like scared of this person. Like if I saw her walking on the street, I think she may be the natural and shoot me.
The writer or the Fatal Attraction girl? Oh, I'm saying the writer.
Like, the writer, I have no idea. There's a part of me that thinks she doesn't hate. I have no idea what she's doing. Yeah. I have no idea what her end game is. I have no idea what, like, it's one of those things, I guess, kind of the price of fame, but like she's
oh yeah.
Who's that?
She DM'd Kareem. That's the girl. She's writing the article.
And here, we've also done something where and this wasn't just on her, but like the Nantucket magazine is the perfect example. Anytime somebody does a piece on me, it ends up in a fucking war. And like, I thought, if I can't get on N magazine without it being controversial, I've just stopped. So people are always like, hey, will you let us interview? And I just stopped saying no. It's like, I'm not looking for any more publicity. I've had fucking enough. I don't want to be on the cover of these different things. I don't want it. So we've said no to her. I'm like, no. And everybody I like, who I'm friends with, has said no. So the only people besides Elio who said yes are my fucking enemies.
Yeah.
She got in touch with the Dev Nest.
I think I heard that.
It's like crazy.
The Dev Nest.
And you look, she follows everybody who doesn't like me. It's like at one point her like last 10 follows were like
Yeah.
the guys who are left here in the
Yeah.
But I don't know, because she doesn't have the vibe of like a typical hater.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
I have no idea what to expect. Maybe she's writing a novel. How deep she's going.
I mean, it's deep, right? DevNest Nate.
DevNest Nate is insane. Elio. I mean, she had a girl. I told you, a girl who I didn't even know who it was, who made a TikTok about me.
Mm-hmm.
She reached out to that person. The person like, what is this? It's like I blocked her so she can't go through my like friends anymore. But it's probably too late. It's the one girl who worries me, is the one who has proven she's willing to do anything to ruin me.
Fuck. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
And once it's out, it's like, even if I have the proof, well, I don't know. I think, first of all, I don't think she's going to make these people source themselves. So anybody can say anything. But even if she did source it, it's even though I'll have the proof in black and white, like, hey, this is a certified liar, I have the proof of it, no one will listen to that.
No, it's just going to be another link for people to add under
100%.
story. Yeah,
and it's like somebody I had hooked up with in the past, unfortunately, and it's like you're DMing each other fucking raunchy shit out of context. Weird.
Listen, obviously you do what you want to do, but I think one thing that might start being good is when you do respond to these people, you make it so only they could reply, because the shit that people reply to the Nantucket girl, that's the shit that it's,
I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, you could do that.
I agree with that.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what's like, I just saw some of the shit people were replying to that girl, and I know weren't,
How do you do that?
Just that you click this and then.
Is that even on my fucking thing?
Yeah, so you know what I mean? I just think there's so much that could be beneficial to
I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That's as crazy as it sounds. That's never been brought to my attention. But yes, I agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because like
I literally said it after I did it, and people will be like, "Oh, you just said." I'm like, "Don't threaten, don't be weird."
No, yeah, and it's
because
the same
I'm
thing.
not when I respond to these people. But it's like, if you are going to say crazy things about me, and I felt with that one spot, the bar in Nantucket, like people should know, if you own it and you're going to go out of your way to cause this controversy, our people should have the choice to not go to your spot.
Mm-hmm. No, I hear you, but yeah, I think just because like the first reply was like, "Oh, don't listen when women talk." It's like just stupid.
I agree
people,
with you.
Like,
I agree with you
It's
100%.
dumb. All right, we'll end on this. Well, two things: Floyd Mayweather on Sunday Conversation.
Very funny.
Very funny. And then my last thing is White Sox Dave wants to file a class action lawsuit against Bob Baffert.
It wouldn't surprise me if something like not from White Sox Dave doesn't have the giddy up to get something like that off the ground, but I could see somebody doing it.
Yeah, maybe. All right, that's it.
All right.
Anything else?
No, hell of a show.
Hell of a show. Thanks, everybody, for listening. We'll be back next week. We will see you then.